And now, from the Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, it's the Bring 'Em Out Podcast with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Just give me the TV, Joel. That's 72 inches? I have two kids. I can't afford anything anymore. You're doing so well in big old Stony Brook building.
Yeah, Sunnybrook, but it's okay. You're on a roll.
Sunny?
Sunnybrook.
Oh,
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Stony Brook is Long Island. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't care anymore, Joel. I gotta go home. Are we recording? Because I'm killing.
We are ruling. Yeah, right.
Have we been? Did you get that TV thing? Because that was gold.
I got the tail end of
I'll run it all back. Joel, give me the TV. Kidding. Let's bring this in. Welcome to the SoulJoel podcast. I'm here with two guests. You know their names. I'm Greg Stone. Anyway, I heard you.
I thought he was calling you a guest and you're the co-host. But
I called you a guest. You're always my guest.
No,
You're the
trust me,
guest.
I am on board.
Yeah.
This is a fucking reckless podcast.
I know. This is what I do. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
Also, no one knows who I am. I fucking killed myself. Let's open with I'm going to kill myself. Ronan, how you doing?
Yeah, dude, listen.
Yeah?
Let's start with this. You were wearing SoulJoel shirt on your podcast, Friday Night Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, it was the greatest story ever. You did a gig 3 or 4 years in a row. And this is like the epitome of comedy.
Yeah.
Of what like when you get hired, the guy comes up to you that's paying you and goes, "Can you let them know the buffet is ready?" Orthodox Jewish.
That wasn't your gig.
I know, but you told it on your podcast wearing a SoulJoel shirt.
Yeah.
So I keep resharing it because I love the fact that you told the story. Like,
Yeah, you want the SoulJoel merch out there. This guy's like, hey, look, here's his shirt, but also here's a shitty gig that wasn't mine.
Oh, dude, you and I started with shitty gigs.
Mm-hmm.
You used to flyer with me to get people in the room down at the place was called Coffee.Comedy
Oh, yeah.
in Seattle City. Dude, DeRosa did it the following week. Was like, this is awesome because the line was wrapped around the block.
Well, that night, Coffee.Comedy, I did that with Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze,
who
yeah.
now won't call you back. He shouldn't. I wouldn't call you back either.
No,
the minute I don't have to call you back, I'm not calling you back. Not because you're not a good guy. I just want that power. I just want to hurt someone who's been good to me. That's how fucking rich I want to be.
You want the option.
I want the option to hurt the people I loved.
But DeRosa
Yeah?
was there the next week and was like, this is awesome. The
Your
line
producer
was,
just left, by the way.
what?
Your producer left.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So DeRosa. You had DeRosa on. Joe DeRosa.
Once the levels are good, I guess they're going to be good the rest of the show.
Yeah.
The DeRosa was there and was like, this show's amazing. The line was wrapped around the building because of ice cream. He went off. He goes, I can't even outsell ice cream cones.
You can't. I'm just taking my shoes off. Who cares, right? I didn't wear socks.
No, it's fine.
My dogs are burning. I got eczema. It's a whole problem. So what questions do you have for me?
So first of all,
Sorry.
two-time father.
Two-time father, yeah.
How's that?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I like being a dad. It's ruining my life. It's the weirdest thing, man. You're not a dad, right?
No, but I was telling you.
I know you're not a dad.
John Fish was here, right?
Yeah.
And I recently got a girlfriend. She's been married but no kids.
I met her. She's very sweet.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
And I told this to John Fish. He goes, do it now, buddy. He goes, don't wait. You don't want to be an old dad. He goes, I had my second one at 50, and I just wish it was 5 years ago. I could see just the tiredness in his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this is not even funny, but the saddest part...
What a good guest.
Yeah. No, the saddest part about being a dad who's kind of older now is that, man, I made a person that I love more than anything, but I don't get to spend my whole life with him. I'm only getting the end. I hope he does great things, but I won't see them. It's like, hey, will he graduate high school? I hope. I'll probably be dead in 3 years. I might die on the way home. I'm too tired to make these drives.
Dude, there's no way.
Dude, I told you about the show I did a few weeks ago.
Oh.
I know I didn't because I haven't seen you. That was only a few weeks ago. But I did a gig. This motherfucker. I did this fucking gig for this guy. He's great. I like him. Pays well. You should call him. Find his numbers and be like, maybe I'll do this. That's why I don't know why I'm doing this. Joe is great. I just like to I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, this guy does a one-nighter, $1,200.
Okay.
How much am I getting tonight?
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, this is all to make him laugh.
Not getting a TV.
No, I know. First of all, you got this TV you're not using. You could give it to me.
Slightly less than a TV.
Well, I'll say, throw the TV in. We're even.
Yeah.
No, so I'm kidding. It's that. It was whatever. I should have. Moving right along. We would try to be funny. We keep going. I do this gig. Lady comes up at the end.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Can I get a selfie with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And her husband kept going, "Don't say that to him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him." And she takes a picture and she goes, "I'm going to tell him." And he goes, "Don't tell him." And I go, "Whoa, what?" And she goes, "The last 3 comedians I took selfies with died."
Oh, good Lord.
And I went, "What the fuck? Why the fuck would you say that to me?" A, B, keep it, if that did happen, keep it to yourself.
Why are you still looking for selfies?
Why are you still looking for selfies? That's a great point. On the off chance that you're murdering people with selfies like a horror movie, put the phone down, bitch.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
She's a real life Black Widow.
Yes, the black. Yeah,
Great power comes great responsibility.
yeah, with a iPhone 3GS.
Yeah. And her husband, cool,
3GS.
calm, and collected, is going, "Don't tell him."
Yeah, don't tell him you're murdering comedians. We can't be connected to this.
Yeah, sure. One of them was Ralphie May.
It was Ralphie May.
Oh God.
It was 100% Ralphie May.
That's Fluffy, right? No. Fluffy's still alive.
Ralphie May then. It's Ralphie May. Yeah, it was Ralphie May. It might have been Gilbert. I don't know. She only told me 2. Ralphie May and I think Norm. And then the other one I think was a killer. She took a picture with Tom Jones. You know Tom Jones has murdered people. Yeah, people don't talk about it. Tom Jones has murdered a lot of people. Yeah, you know what that's about. What's New Pussycat is the things he would say before he would cut their throats. Yeah, what's new Pussycat? And they go, I don't. And he would kill them. Like, yeah, kind of like think about the future. And then he'd blow their brains out.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah. So I might be dead, is what I'm saying. Because I've got the hex. I've got the iPhone hex that the lady put on me.
I'm glad you went to Starbucks before this.
I know. Wait, why? I should have got you something.
Because now you're cooking.
I am cooking, Joel.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like about you, Joel. I can say whatever I want and you just laugh.
Yeah.
And it allows me to be a person I don't get to be a lot, which is a mean asshole.
Yeah, dude.
It's so fun to be a jerk to you because you love it.
But do comics not feel comfortable at other clubs? Because I only know what I've created. Like,
Huh?
I'm not saying like
some clubs, because some club owners will rape you. Not you.
No. Yeah.
Not me. I'd kill to get a little touch. I would kill for a club owner to be like, "Come here, you want your money? Just let me see that bee-hole, brother." I'd be into it. I'm in it for the experience.
Show me the B-side.
Show me the B-side. Have you even introduced anybody yet? What kind of host are you?
Should I cut in and do the actual intro?
Right, there should be an intro to this podcast.
I mean, at this point, do your own research.
I know.
He dead.
Yeah.
I know you as Greg Coraluzzo, but everyone else knows you as Greg Stone.
Don't give out that name.
Oh.
I don't want people knowing my name. They'll get my social security number. Just kidding. I've said it on every podcast. I might go back.
Well, dude, it tells you to update on your iPhone, and I hit update, and now I get your picture and your hyphenated name like you're Latino.
Latino's doing that?
Well, they like hyphenate it's their father's name / their mom's name.
Right, because none of them are married. I don't know. That was just a racist thing to say. Why not? Fuck it. Who cares? I'll be dead tomorrow. Be racist.
I said Latino. You went Puerto Rican.
It's always Puerto Ricans, because Puerto Ricans are my dream Latinos. I don't know if you have this. I don't know if you guys have this, but I think that you should have a race, and then you should have, like, you know how you minor in college? Like, I was raised Italian, but I minored in Puerto Rican because all of my friends were Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah.
So I have this little minor where I have this, like, connection with Puerto Ricans.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, all my best friends were Puerto Rican.
Stealing cars.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Sky, huh? Sky? What a racist. Didn't steal cars. They drank Maltagoya and talk about Chupacabra. And Coqui. Now, a lot of people talk about Coqui. He's the frog. Do you know about Coqui, the frog in Puerto Rico? Yeah. Are you Puerto Rican?
No.
You're like one of those guys who look like you could be Puerto Rican and you don't know?
Dude, I get a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I tried to get an Italian restaurant tried to hire me when I was a teenager. Thought I was Italian.
Really? What are you?
I don't know.
Fun.
Half my mom is German and Dutch. That side is.
Okay.
My dad was adopted, and the hospital he was born in burnt down a week after he was born. Records destroyed.
Wow.
My sister just did 23andMe. 17% Sicilian.
Really? Blood sister? Why don't you do? You should do 23andMe.
I'm kind of tempted to now. Now that I know there's something cool to find out.
Yeah, I used to not want to do 23andMe because they say they keep your DNA. But like, fuck it, keep my DNA. Maybe they'll bring me back.
Yeah.
The second week, they had everything.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff, man. I mean,
Well, it's not that we don't care; it's you can't care
Right.
because it's not a fight you can win.
right.
So we've all just given in. You know, what is he got? A trombone in there? What is that? What is that box? Is there a trombone in there?
I got to be honest. I don't know what. I don't.
Zither.
You have a zither in there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
see
zither
something,
around?
say something. I don't know what's in that box.
See an electric guitar.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Nice. Very cool.
Dude, that's why.
Yeah.
It's yours. You just put it in there. Oh, thank God.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Dude, you're amazing. First of all,
I love you. I love
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
here.
You run through so quick. Your mind is so sharp, dude.
Right. Thanks. I have nothing to say.
The one time.
I was not doing. I was just trying. Yeah, I was trying. I
I
was.
could interject. I'd love to hear the origin story of you two knowing each other because you go back to Coral Uzo. So I mean, where did you guys meet?
Pete Isip.
Yes, I was like, we better bring up Pete Isip on this podcast.
Yeah, yeah. So Pete Isip, a guy that I started doing open mics with, he introduces me to Greg. Greg introduced me to Anthony DeVito.
He wouldn't book me. He only booked Pete. He loved Pete.
Okay.
And then maybe I wasn't good enough. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the SoulJoel gigs. You wouldn't book me in the beginning. Do you remember that?
No.
I remember that. But I'm not mad about it.
Dude,
I think because we had competing energy.
maybe.
Because you were like, this guy, he's going for the same thing I'm going for.
Yeah, yeah.
Sexy comedy.
No, but and then I remember I started having on gigs, and then I knew you were killer, and you came down with Rachel Feinstein, and you're like, I'm gonna come down, but I need to start headlining. This is during the pandemic, and I started headlining you.
We've been friends 20 years before the pandemic.
Yeah, yeah.
We did a show. I think one of the first shows I remember doing was with Pete Isip. Pete and I. This is like 2005, 6. I don't know what
Yeah.
year. How early did you get into? Because I'm not good with years.
6.
6.
Yeah.
So Pete Isip, who is a comedian I started with, he was so funny. He became a personal trainer and
Owned a
he
couple
was
of
ripped,
gyms.
Owned a bunch of gyms. Moved to Vegas. I still, when I'll do the Comedy Cellar in Vegas, I visit him every time I go there. We still talk. We talk. I mean, I don't talk to a lot of people anymore because of my kids. But Pete and I, every time I pick up the phone, he's one of the best human beings in the world, and he's so funny. He's great.
Dude, just great energy, sincere, genuine dude.
I was like, dude, if you ever want to get back into it, I was like, I could probably get you in at the Cellar in Vegas. And he just goes, nope, which I love because he's like, I did that. That was not good for me. I'm done. It was a part of my life, and I'm done. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I think that's kind of his thing, you know?
Yeah.
But, like,
No hedging, no nothing.
no, he's one of the most, he's a guy who would text me, like, every month and be like, hey, man, I love you. You're doing great. Like, he's one of these guys who will just support you and say really great things about you and help you mentally. I texted him a few days ago. I was like, hey, man, are you free? Because I just was like, I'm going to cry, and I want to call, so I need to talk to somebody. And he was, of course, he was free. But then I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to cry now, so let me just not do that.
Dude,
he's one
that
of the
person
best.
can be me, man. Call me anytime.
I feel like I could call you anytime. But
Yeah.
the hard thing is that, like, when I talk to you, you don't really listen. If he doesn't laugh, you don't know I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm
Just
joking.
think of the next question. It's a running pattern.
I know. It's hard
How
doing
are we
a
going to
podcast.
segue out of this? 'Cause it's cool in here, but I'm starting to sweat.
You don't have to worry. Look, you don't have to worry when I'm on it. With other comedians, you got to worry.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? I'm not going to stop talking.
Yeah.
So just sit back. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
My job on this podcast generally is to do the introduction, which we didn't do today.
Yeah, do it.
Also to ask the questions, which I'm not going to ask today because we have Greg Stone. And Greg Stone doesn't need prompting.
I would love. Let me say this. I would love the questions. I would love to be interviewed. Every time I ever do a podcast, I just get really high and I talk too much. But I have something. I would love to. Why don't you do the intro? I want to hear the intro. Do the intro. We're 40 minutes in.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. Hey, everybody. We're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the podcast studio with another episode of Bring 'Em Out. I'm Alan Hill, SoulJoel himself, Joel Richardson. Today, we've reached the pinnacle of my podcasting career. We have Greg Stone.
That was a very nice intro.
It was a very nice intro. Well, it's because you're a second generation stand-up.
Look at you shoehorning in these things he clearly wanted to talk about. What am I? What was this, Comics Unleashed? So I heard you've been accused of rape. What's that about? Well, that's what Comics Unleashed they don't do, where they do the cancellations of comics. So you were...
SoulJoel, a.k.a. Byron Allen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. My dad was a comedian, and I had a bit about
You
it.
said you haven't been interviewed, so I shoehorned the question.
No, I know, but it's so much more fun for me. I know. Well, it's because you're a vegan, I hear. The thing is that the food. Why are we copying the food that already exists? Oh God, I should kill myself. Anyway, yeah, no, my dad did comedy, but I don't really care about that. Next question.
He's a character, man. You've had him on the pod.
You met him?
Well, no. But he's been on your pod a couple times.
Oh, my dad is hilarious.
Yeah, he's a riot.
He's wildly funny. He definitely could have been bigger than I was, but that's what second generations are about. Like I would not be here if he didn't start it. And that's why I'm kind of for nepotism. I kind of wasn't, but I am. Like, the reason a lot of nepotism works, and not just because they're starting off with, like, money, but, like, the beginning of my career was, do I believe in myself? Am I fun? It's all this bullshit. But when you have a dad who also tried it, like, he worked at Bananas. My dad really wasn't a comedian. He wasn't really doing stand-up. He worked at Bananas Comedy Club as, like, a door guy.
Okay.
And when I started, he was like, well, I'm doing it with you. And he had kind of done some shows. It's really kind of murky. I really don't understand what his deal was. Right? But when I started, he was like, he's coming with me. So we would do bringer shows. And we would do, we were almost competing with each other.
Oh, that's great.
But he would kill. Like, he would fucking kill. He had great jokes. And we weren't like, there was never any jealous. Well, he's funny. Like, if there was jealousy, I think he's jealous of me, which is like such a weird thing. Most parents, you call them and you want them to tell you that they love you and that they're proud of you. But I have to call my dad and be like, hey, Dad, I want you to know I'm proud of you. Like, I'm the one who has to make him feel better. It is. But I mean, my dad is the best. We're, like, really close, and he's very funny. And we would do, like, these bringer shows together. And
the non-bringer show for, like, Christine and her mom, Pat.
Non-
where, like you didn't
yes.
have to bring, but then all of a sudden when you showed up empty-handed, they're like, where are your people?
Okay.
yeah.
There was nothing laid out, but it was kind of understood. Like, it was an unwritten rule. Like,
There's an expectation.
Remember
Yeah.
when you were like, oh, I would start headlining you? There was a time with them where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fold chairs and put tables away anymore at the end of these shows. That was one of my first steps in comedy when I've been working too hard at this.
Yeah.
To now bust tables.
Yeah.
Like, I won't bust tables at the end of the show anymore.
Yeah.
Because you do the shows, they make you bust the tables.
Yeah.
But also you felt bad because the lady who was running it was like 90 years old. She was great. I loved her. She, she was good for at the time. But also it's like she couldn't bust the tables. So the comedians would have to bust the tables. She'd put money in your pocket, and you'd be like, you'd look at it and you'd be like, holy shit, did I just make $60?
Yeah.
Because it was like you brought a bunch of people and she'd give you a tiny cut.
Yeah. A little taste.
A little taste. But also it's like, oh, I could have just brought my friends to a room and got all of the money. I could have just called my friends and be like, hey, can I have $20?
Dude, that's how SoulJoel Productions was born. I was like, enough of this shit. I could have just made $3,000.
Right.
I mean, now, obviously not, because, like, you have to pay all the comics and
He always says that because you happen there. He went, oh, I'm not making the money. I can't pay you anymore.
Where there was expectation.
Yeah, taking down how much I... Hey, here's a little something for you. Here's a free meatball. SJP. I will say this. I want to say this on the air. I'm going to shit on you forever.
Yeah.
But you always take care of me, and
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
love you, and I always appreciate that. So
Yeah.
that should be out in the air. But I can't even afford socks. You know what I mean? What are you doing, man?
Dude, I've always told in the car with Kurt Metzger.
Yeah.
It was James Mattern and I. James was in the back, and I'm in the front. He goes, "Hey, James, what's your real name?" And he goes, "I don't understand why you would say it. You know, why you need to know." He goes, "Because I think you and SoulJoel need to drop that black room pretentious bullshit." But on that same token, he goes, "I hate how people they'll bark or they'll work the door." He goes, "Stop moving furniture and just get a good act."
Right.
And I'm like, dude, easier said than done, but everybody has their own path, whatever
Right.
it is. Like, it's hard to figure out because there's no blueprint in comedy. Some people make it different ways, man.
Well, with comedy, I would say, like, a big problem in the beginning is that you keep trying to, you think you're competing with other people. And you think that you, like, have to be like people or like, you're like, I have to be as good as Bill Burr. It's like, no, you don't. You have to be your truest self. You just have to be your most yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to advertise for yourself.
Yeah.
And that is it. right?
Yeah.
It's like it's not who the best is. It's not basketball. We're not fucking points. You just have to be your truest self. And if your truest self is a guy named SoulJoel, right, or James. Fuck it, you're not you're bad Mad Dog. Like the thing is, he James went through a thing, and he was like, I don't want to be called Mad Dog anymore because people shit on him. And I went, you're the only one who should be Mad Dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like, here's another thing. I said this to Phil Hanley, right? People shit on crowd work clips. Everyone's like, no, don't put up the crowd work clips. But Phil Hanley is so unbelievable at crowd work that you go. I told him, I was like, no, he never questions himself because he's like the most confident, handsome man you'll ever meet in your life. But I'm like, you're the one who needs to do this because you're not doing crowd work like these other people. Like, it's who you are. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? If he starts looking at other people, you start going, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I need to be doing this. And it's like, you just need to be your most self.
Yeah.
I didn't shave my beard in Duck Dynasty.
You didn't?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you should have. I give it to
Well, mistake number one. Joel, back to you. What else we got?
I give Alan a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Hey, Joel laughs, so he knows I'm joking.
I'm kidding.
I feel like I'm part of it.
No, you look great. You look great. Everyone looks great. This is
Dude,
all
but yeah,
fun.
but back in 2006, Zach Galifianakis broke, and everybody was trying to follow that, like a fat bearded comedian. Then in 2010, it was Matt McCarthy because he was the Verizon guy with whatever the online what's their FiOS? Not FiOS was.
Well, yeah, he had a lot of commercials for that.
He was like the redheaded bearded guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, got to be like that." Like it just keeps cycling. But
Well, that's
to
just-
Greg's point, just be yourself. It's gonna come back around.
Yeah, and or maybe it won't, but at least you were your fucking self.
Yeah.
You know, and true comedy, the true art is when you're digging deep, and
Yeah.
also maybe you're the one that then now there's 1,000 fake Greg Stones because you were you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll say this is like a weird thing that I kind of noticed about music. I used to always think that like, I don't know how to explain this, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it's completely obvious. But like you said with Zach Galifianakis, right? Zach Galifianakis broke, and then Comedy Central, all of them were all like, get me the new Zach Galifianakis. So 100 bearded guys got production deals. All this stuff had it. Then you look at music and you go, oh, that's how grunge happened. One of those bands broke, and then they were like, get me the next Nirvana. Get me the next Pearl Jam. And I just thought, oh, that's the sound of the 90s. It's like, no, it wasn't. That was a sound that happened, and then they just wanted everything like that, and it all came.
That's the rich gatekeeper saying, unleash the hounds.
Yeah, and it's not even them picking anything. It's them going, I want to make money off of the next of the Nirvana.
Another good thing, that's exactly right. And another great thing to look at there is look at the band names in the 1960s after the Beatles broke for the next 5 years.
What are they?
The Animals, the Turtles,
Sure.
on and on and on.
The monkeys.
Right.
Dudes with bowl cuts, suits.
And
You know what I mean?
I guess is something the fact that like people were also loving the Beatles, so they're like, get me more Beatles.
Totally.
But I don't think the people who were picking those bands were smart enough. I think they were just like, I want to make money. Get me a fake one of those.
100%.
And then some of those guys were also great. You know, you get a lot of that. But I thought it was like, oh no, it was the time that was making people create this. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was someone said, get me the next Zach Galifianakis, and then we got 5 other. How many times do you see like these actors who were like, oh, there's who's the fucking kid from Arrested Development? Like there was like 5 Michael Cera's, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, get those guys. And then some of those guys developed.
Jesse Eisenberg's career.
Right. But also Jesse Eisenberg kind of grew into something else,
Right. You know,
which is
it's a totally
great.
different thing now.
Right. But he was definitely why they picked him. So if you see a famous comedian, just do their act a little bit different. And then someone might be like, okay, look, there's my next fake this, and then become you. You know what I
I
mean?
did not expect that to be where that landed. That's awesome.
Right. No, I mean, like, but you see the times and you go like, oh shit, right? Like right now is not my time, but I'm gonna be keeping myself until my time comes
Dude,
back
but
around.
you keep hitting like you
Women, and that's why it's not my time. 'Cause people are very upset about that.
But
I don't even know them. I'll just go to a Taco Bell and go, you, like an elbow drop of fucking anyone under 5'4".
You see breast cancer ribbons, you go looking for an Olay.
I'll choke a woman out with a breast cancer ribbon.
you were a writer on Michelle Wolf's show.
Now let's just move on.
Yeah.
I was, of course, yeah, no, I was. I was a writer on Michelle Wolf's show. I love Michelle Wolf.
And then the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah, you wrote on that. Like
I did.
Yeah.
I did. What? I know.
Dude, but I think you keep building. The building blocks are there, man. You're gonna hit.
It's not about hitting. I don't care anymore. I'm having a great time. I just want to do the thing I do, and I just need to find money. I thought I don't want to be famous like that. Like, fame now is scary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want every time I post someone, everyone's like, this guy sucks, he's never been good, this guy is whatever. I don't want that kind of fame. I mean, whatever, if I got that kind of fame, whatever. I just want a hot tub. And however I get a hot tub. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to find...
Dude, that sounds good.
I think that's like, I thought that the amount of money you made showed you how good you were at comedy. And now it's like, no, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to do my comedy. I'm going to try to make people laugh. I love making people laugh. I love it. But I also just have to find money. Kevin Hart has a part-time job. Kevin Hart has another job. Kevin Hart's in movies. People forget. It's like, oh, he's a great comic. He's this rich. It's like, yeah, but everyone has another job. You know what I mean? Like, there's like 4 comedians who only do comedy. Jim Gaffigan.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Sebastian, right? But then, like, you know what I mean? But Nate, you know, but most of these other famous guys, Rogan makes his money from his podcast. Chrysler's probably the same. Right. Segura podcast. All these guys are just like, none of these guys are really truly just stand-up itself isn't really the thing. You can't base that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if your second job is you're a mover, you know, who cares? Just find the money and do comedy and be happy. It's about being happy. And everyone keeps trying to be happy tomorrow. I'll be happy when I get this money. It's like, no, man, I'm fucking...
Right, chasing that. I do realize that, man, because no matter what, you're never going to be happy if you constantly are chasing. I need this to happen. I need that to happen.
It's all and let me tell you this. And let me tell you how it's all bullshit. And this comes back to having a kid, right? That's when it really... I kind of knew this, but then I had the kid, it hit. When I had the kid, I went, oh, I love this thing more than anything. Right? And the reason, the love I have for my kid, and I'm fucking the quote up, but I think George Lucas said it best, is he said there was happiness and joy, right? And like, happiness is something you get a new car, you're happy. You fucking get a Comedy Central special, you're happy. But joy is something that you get that is just always, right? Like, having a kid brings me real joy.
Unconditional.
Right. And for me, as a weird atheist, I'm sorry, but I'm hitting a lot of topics here. I'm gonna take this slow and I'm gonna try to explain this. Real happiness for me came when I had a kid. I had joy, right? This thing loves me, and I now have purpose, right? I have purpose having this child, which fulfilled me in a way that comedy wasn't. Comedy was just McDonald's. It was just a quick dopamine drop, right? But now I do comedy because I went on stage after I had my kid, and I was kind of in a weird zone. I hadn't slept, and I don't know why I said it, but I was like, I used to care about you people. I needed you to love me. But now I have a kid, and he loves me. So I don't give a fuck about you anymore. And now everything's happening in my career. And I'm like, you want me now? Well, now it's like the hot chick in high school.
Yeah.
Is like, no, I'm married to a woman who loves me, and you're divorced, and you're like, now I want you? Well, fuck you. I don't need you anymore. Now I'll do this for fun. I have my kids.
What did the audience say when you how
It
did
was
they react when you said
weird.
that?
They cheered, but it wasn't funny, so I didn't feel good about it. Like, it was just a thing I said about how I found real joy in my life, and it isn't from them, it's from this. And they cheered, and I went, fuck, that's something. But on this other level, it helped me understand religious people. Now, I'm an atheist.
You're like, I get what Joel Osteen's doing.
No. I get it. Sorry. I'm not laughing because I'm in a serious zone. Like, my dad is a big Catholic, and my dad lives his life for a higher purpose. He lives his life for religion, right? He lives his life for God. He gives himself to God. That's his purpose, and it fills him with joy. Now that I have a kid, I live for him. I live for my children, and it finally gave me meaning. Like, oh, like, this is the real thing I do now. I live for my children. It made me understand, like, oh, fuck, living for yourself. Being a comedian, I'm living for myself. And it's all McDonald's. It's quick. It's eat. You don't feel great about it, but it's tasty. But now that I'm living for my children, it's like this, I have real purpose. And the comedy, which was purpose, but it was selfish almost. And the kid it's a whole other thing now. So, yeah, it is. And I'll say this, one other thing. And this, I'm trying to write as a bit, but I know people will get mad. All these motherfuckers are out there who are like, I choose to not have a kid. Your fucking kid, if I'm on a plane, your kid's crying, fuck you. Why am I have to deal with your fucking kid? Let me say this about that. Let me say this about that. Every person who doesn't have a kid and chooses to not have a children should kiss on the mouth parents, because they are having kids so you don't have to. Okay? The only thing you need in life, the only thing that the only real purpose of life is to procreate. There is no real anything else. It's to keep the human race going. And if you think the government wouldn't make you have kids if we stopped having kids, you're out of your fucking mind. Okay? So every time so if you hear a baby crying, you go up to that person and go, how can I help? Because I'm dealing with an hour now, but if it wasn't for you, I'd be dealing with a life of babies that you didn't fucking want. So it's like, I support people not having kids, but it is selfish. It is selfish. You are not keeping the human race going.
Well, you're bookended by two selfish dudes.
No, but and I don't mean that. I don't know how to explain that in a way that's like, God, I'm happy that you don't have children, and it's amazing because you could you're still in college. You don't know what the real world is like. You don't know what real pain is.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Don't ever. You're still in the Matrix. I'm not in the Matrix. I'm in that robot world, eating that slop, going, this fucking blows, but it's real. Stay in the fucking Matrix. I'm out here fighting the war so you don't have to. But just give us a little bit of respect for doing that.
Yeah. Dude, I am a proud uncle.
You are, and you're a great uncle, and you're a great guy.
Dude, but I told this
no
to
matter
Alan.
what Alan says. Just kidding. What are you doing? Sorry, I cut you off. For
I left you two alone to catch up before the pod. Dude, my twin nieces, one's wearing a SoulJoel shirt to school.
Right.
And it was National Joke Day.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I didn't even know was a thing.
What is the thing? My sister tells them they have to tell jokes, and they're like, we don't want to.
Yeah.
They're like, your uncle owns a comedy club. If you two, out of everyone, doesn't do it, it's a little, come on.
Right.
So they start doing, I'm holding their French bulldog. And their jokes were like, it's dad jokes, not really great, but they're 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I go, what did the dog say to Uncle Joel? Today's going to be a rough day.
I love it.
Yeah. She goes in, tells her mom, she goes, what did one dog say to the other dog? She goes, today's going to be a rough day. 6 years old, rewrote my joke.
That's great.
And then went in school and told the joke. And
That's
I'm like,
great.
the balls.
Right.
Like, courage.
Yeah.
Rewriting the joke, like, that's charisma.
It's awesome.
I don't have kids, but second generation might be coming from my niece. The timing.
Yeah.
6 years old, right. 6 years old,
That's
the
awesome.
timing.
I mean, it's and I hate to be this, but I have to also be like, I don't know how to say that in a way of like, I want people to understand that it's like, not having kids is awesome. But the people who don't have kids and then are shitty to people who do have kids,
yeah, no,
they need to be like, hey, chill.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you're not doing your part.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I love that you're not. I wish. No, I don't. I wanted to be that. I like.
Yeah.
My wife said to me, she goes, we were not going to have kids.
Yeah.
We weren't going to do it. She was whatever, and then she looks at me after pandemic and she went, "You want to be a dad?" And I went, "No, I'm happy with any way we want." And I was truly happy any way she wanted to go. And she went, "No, you want to be a dad. We should try. And if we're going to try, we have to try now." And I went, okay. We had sex once. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
She got pregnant on
Hole
the
in one.
first fucking try.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Because it was like, well, the trying will help me get prepared.
Yeah.
It'll
You're like,
help
we're
me be like-
talking 16 months from now.
Yeah. And part of me...
Yeah.
Right. And part of me was like, maybe it won't happen. And
Yeah.
that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen, it'd be like kind of awesome. And we tried, and maybe we don't. She got pregnant, we had the baby, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole other thing, a lot of shit involved there that I'm not going to get into. And she goes, we should have two because, we should have, I don't want to have just one kid. You have
The only
brothers.
child thing. Yeah.
And I went, well, maybe it won't happen.
Yeah.
It probably not going to happen because
Yeah.
she's older.
Yep.
My wife's 23. She got pregnant again, second try.
Yeah. Boom.
A motherfucker.
Yeah. Not only
it was wild.
not only are you funny, but you're fertile.
Yeah. My wife's eggs are the size of ostrich eggs. They weren't hard to find. No, but the thing that was crazy is that we were having issues with sex, that we were just having issues. And there's a lot there to unpack that I don't really want to get into right now because I'm working on it as a bit. No, but there's a lot there to unpack. And so I was like, well, the trying will help us get back into having sex. And it did not because she got pregnant immediately. But now we're finally in a place where we're doing it again, which is nice. Yeah. And I think that's how I have to talk about it. You can't talk about it as a guy who's not having sex because it comes off very angry. But now that we're back, I'm like, oh, I can talk. Now that I'm out of it, I can do the stuff.
Like you're blaming her, or like whatever. You know what I mean?
It
Like
was her fault. It wasn't my fault. Blaming her. Yeah, she wouldn't have sex with me. It's her fault. No, not me. I mean, I did. Well, there was a thing I said, like, she said to me, she goes, "It's not you, it's me." And I looked in the mirror and I was like, well, it's got to be a little me. I mean, look at this. I'm not helping. If you beat a, if you put a fucking filet mignon in a paper plate, you might not want to eat it. And the filet mignon is my dick, and the paper plate is everything surrounded by my dick. Yeah.
that is it for me.
That's it. How we doing on time? God forbid the producers stay in the room. See how this camera's like off. Camera's probably off.
Hey, by the way, he looked at me and goes, "Your producer just left," as if I didn't notice.
Yeah. I keep talking to him too. I keep aiming forward as if there's someone there. There's no one else in this room. Just a 57-inch, I'd say 72-inch TV.
Yeah.
What is that? What kind of TV is that? Homeland? No wonder. Was it a Homicer? What is that? What kind of TV is that?
I think it fell off the truck.
Maybe I don't want this TV.
I got a discount.
I got a discount. I don't know if there's a big enough discount on the Hisense.
It rhymes with nonsense.
Hisense. Is it in color? It's a color TV. Are you Jewish?
No, but in this business, it helps having the name Joel.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, you ever work with SoulJoel Cohen's room?
Yeah. He's not Jewish. He's not black. He's not anything like you think.
Yeah. You used to wear the Soul shirts.
Yeah, dude. I didn't get in trouble until day 3, handing out flyers in Savannah, Georgia, with Giannis and Mad Dog because they thought I was handing out religious material.
Funny.
I was the Soul Man. Yeah,
that
that
was
was
funny.
the thing. Yeah.
That's great.
Barking illegal, handing out religious material.
It's such a crazy
fine,
thing.
in the Bible Belt.
I'm too close to it to me, you're just SoulJoel.
Yeah.
But if I met you today, I might go, here's the thing. If I met you, when you meet you,
You're like, this guy's got it together?
No, I like
and
you.
Inside.
And it's not a thing. But, like, if I told someone on paper what you are is crazy. Like, if I said, you ever see that Booker in South Jersey? He's got his name is SoulJoel, white guy.
Yeah,
everyone would be like,
people were talking about
what a
that,
maniac.
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
maniac.
Oh, yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
meet you and you go, it's kind of like Mad Dog. James Madden. You go
yeah.
that's just who he is. It's a thing.
Dude,
it's cool.
I tell people because people don't realize when you were here, you asked for a cup of coffee for the show. You took a step into the kitchen with me, and you're like, "What's going on here?"
This is what I don't understand.
Yeah,
You own this building?
yeah,
The whole building?
17 acres. Yeah,
That doesn't make any fucking sense. How is he doing this well and I'm doing this bad? How has Joel made it and I'm drowning?
dude, it's
The water is in my lungs.
mo money, more problems, man.
Oh, yeah, I feel so bad for you. More money, more problem. How about Mo children? Fucking guys telling me, it's so hard. I got the 17-acre comedy club, a new girlfriend, and no one. And if I die, it doesn't matter.
That came across wrong.
But I know more stress with running the stuff, and I think, look, man, you've worked really hard, man. You've done a lot of shit, so I that's the thing. I always have to do an aside where I compliment you, because I love being so mean to you, but I have to make sure that I weigh it out with something sweet, which is I do love Joel. Yeah, but come on. Come on.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, it's great, man. I couldn't be happier because you know how many fucking scumbags get places and then they just scumbag you? Like, there are clubs where I don't feel. I mean, there are clubs I go to. It's funny. It's like my favorite clubs. Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a club where the white owner would text me constantly. He would call me the N-word, which was like, I'm not even black. What are you doing? Like, this is crazy. And then he would like, I'm going to fuck you up. He was like, it's funny. He was like, trying to be a tough guy all the time. And I had to work for him because I needed the money. And so you just take that shit from people all of the time. You know what I mean? You just get people who are like.
Do I know him?
I don't think you know him personally.
Oh.
But you definitely would know the club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. And then there's the clubs you love, and then there's just, this is what sucks. You know what really actually kind of sucks is that opening for people kind of sucks, because a lot of times I open for people that I love, but then all of a sudden you need them for the money, and so then you start. My own flaw is that I'm like, fuck, I don't want to upset them, because now this is how I am surviving, and so you don't want to like, tip the boat, or I don't want to text them too much. I don't want to be a hassle. I don't want to text them not enough, but I love them, and then the friendship goes like, yeah, like it's that kind of stinks, right? Like I don't open for Nate, but I love Nate. But I would imagine some of those guys, like Nate is a fucking career maker now.
Dude, he is one of the top 5 touring comics right now.
Right. Now imagine you're his friend and he takes you on the road and he's bringing you to all the best places, all the cool things.
Dude, arenas.
He
Sold out Wells Fargo in Philly, 20,000.
Hockey games. You're getting front row seats at hockey games. And now you're going to tell me if he says something to you, even 5% of you is, even if it's just 5% of you,
Yeah.
it's going to agree with him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I try not to, there are, that sucks. But it's also great. It's also how this business works. But it makes me feel bad for the headliner. It makes me feel bad for that guy. A lot of the real relationships now have a little twinge of a thing. A little sauce. I think I would hopefully foster, if I was ever in that position, I would, and I don't open for Nate, so I don't know. He probably is doing that because he's so good. I love Nate. He's such an easy guy to talk to. But did you have a question?
No, I was gonna say Julian McCullough's his now. That's his credit. His hosting,
right?
Host of the Be Funny tour with Nate Bargatze. Like that's on his Instagram. Dude, that's his credit. Like
Nate has made so many people that I love. He has let them eat.
Yeah.
Graham K opens for him. I'm like, thank God someone is taking care of Graham. I love him.
Vecchione, Dustin Chafin, Little Nicky.
I don't know Nicky. I never met him, but I heard great things.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, I never met him.
Nick Nowicki. He's in any movie where there's a funny little person.
Oh, really? Is he in movies?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's one of the guys who.
Well, he doesn't need it.
Well, dude, he's in the movie Elf. He's in the movie Elf. Yeah. He was one of the elves in the North Pole.
No way.
I'm gonna say this. I think this is where some racism. People say. People say
You think
like,
I got my midgets confused?
No, people say like, you confuse Asians and black people. I will say this. I do confuse little people. And I think I've just realized that now. And I was like, you could be like, yeah, he was in Return of the Jedi. And I'm like, of course I remember him. And I'm like, I don't know, man. They kind of all look the same. It's hard to get past the whole little thing. This is fucked up.
Dude.
Yeah, God.
Perfect example of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I put out my book. I texted Julian because him and I went to high school together. And I'm like, dude, if there's any chance you think I could get on Nate's podcast, that'd be great.
Yeah.
He wrote back, he goes, dude, I have been hosting for Nate on these arena tours for well over a year. I haven't been a guest on the podcast. Right. He goes, but Nate will get you.
Why don't you text Nate? Let's not talk about this on the radio.
Yeah. No. I did.
Instead of making Julian, instead of putting Julian in a firing squad.
No. But it was to your point where like Julian's like, dude, I'm not gonna ask him, but he did say he wants you to come when I'm in Philadelphia, so I got to go to see him, and they actually made it work. Where like I saw Steve Rogers, him, and Nate, like, dude, an arena comedy in the round, and it made it work.
It was fun,
dude.
Yeah.
Julian did crowd work to 20,000 people, and
he
it made
20,
it funny.
Every one of them?
Well, one at a time, all night.
Alan laughs at everything. That was barely a joke, and I'm ashamed of myself. And this guy made me feel good about it.
Yeah.
That's why he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how you doing? We'll check back in on you.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Playing in my band.
Enough about me. What do you think of me? My dad used to say
I'm trying to ask you to ask me what I'm thinking.
Yeah. How about you? Oh, do you really think that?
Yeah.
That's very
I
nice.
also think every podcast you've ever done is one of the best podcasts you've ever done.
Really?
Even in the Macaroni Brothers.
Macaroni Rascals, but I appreciate
Dang it, I did it. The Macaroni Brothers.
We were on a roll.
But I do appreciate it. I mean, the fact that you even know that kind of a deep cut is nice. That was a 6-episode thing I did with Vecchione.
Now that's a B-side.
You were great together.
Oh, man, I had so much fun. But Vecchione started opening for Nate, and he was like, I really can't have, you saying screaming cunt on my resume anymore. he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that. He started like, we just didn't have the time to work together anymore. But that was fun. I love Vecchione. Yeah, that means a lot to me because I will say this, man. I do some podcasts and I immediately take it off the rails. And the only comments I see are the ones who are like, this guy's not funny. He's always crazy. He's always too much.
You know who comments? The vocal minority. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then a couple cool people here and there.
Yeah.
Like I think the world of you. I don't think I've ever commented on anything you've ever done.
Can you please start commenting? I need the algorithm push. Please, God. If everyone out there could just look at my reels, comment, save.
Yeah.
I need.
So at 3 a.m. when you're having a panic attack, you
Please.
get to see Alan Hill. Sparks are flying.
Yeah.
Friday Night Greg is one of the best podcasts ever. The Rad Dude Cast, one of the best pods ever.
I'll say this. If I'm ever about to die, I want to be in bed with you. Because I want it.
Well,
I want it to
better
say
make
on
it
my
happen
tombstone.
soon. The Black Widow got to you.
I want it to say on my
The
tombstone.
Black Widow paparazzi.
I'm doing a bit. You think your bit's better than my bit? You think the shoehorn joke I'm shoehorning in, you're going to beat it? I'm a professional.
Who's got the bigger shoehorn? Let's go.
You ruined my joke, Joel. I want to have sex with you when when I'm dying, so that on my tombstone you can say I died on that hill. That's a stupid thing. It wasn't funny enough to take that long. God. Hi, kid.
This is not funny either, but there's a woman that comes here whose name is Faith that wants to marry me. So
Faith Hill. You just marry her. Fuck it.
I said yes.
Yeah. Are you not in a relationship?
I am not currently.
Why not?
Kind of getting no.
Was that? Oh yeah. I mean.
No. I came off of 2 years of back shit. I'm like, just my back was a problem.
Oh, okay.
Very inactive, relatively
Sure.
speaking to my normal self.
Yeah?
I'm back playing guitar.
Nice.
I'm back in front of the ladies. In my
He needed a little me time.
Yeah.
I did.
For some reason, I always also connect you with Lou
Yeah.
because you're two like the best comedy fans. You're both very sweet, and you're also. I think every time I'm at a show, you're both usually around each other.
Totally. Well, she lives in Lancaster too, like I do. And
Oh.
I met her at with Ian Fidance opening up for David Tell at a local dinner theater club in Lancaster that booked 2 comedy shows in their 40 years of existence. David Tell with Ian and Sam Morril.
Wow.
And I peed my pants in the parking lot before the show.
Yeah.
Had to cactus.
Wait, why? Not from laughter.
No.
From problems.
From problems.
Right.
I had snuck off into the woods for an emergency pee.
Yeah.
My buddy yelled. I thought he was warning me somebody was looking.
Yeah.
Spun around. Drenched him.
You pee on your friend.
No. Drenched myself.
Oh, right.
Drenched
Sure.
myself.
Yeah.
So I went to the David Tell show with a hoodie wrapped around the front of my waist.
Oh, been there, done that, brother. If you haven't been to a David Tell show after defecating yourself, you haven't been to a David Tell show.
It's the only way.
Yeah. That's great. Lou is the best. You guys are the best.
Yeah, Lou's awesome.
Yes?
I think that's it, man. It's a great show.
What? We barely even got into it. Alan didn't even ask me any of his questions. He had a whole Greg notebook.
I lost the notebook.
He lost the notebook. You do one question?
Yeah, one question. I knew a couple of them, so I tried to shoehorn. I said no. You thought it was from me. It was really from him.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I know. You're taking bullets for Alan.
Yeah. Ask one.
Well, dude, let's talk about your special, man.
I don't wanna.
Is that a bad thing?
No, I'm kidding. Did you like it?
Fucking awesome.
Thanks.
I saw you working on some of those bits along the way.
Yeah.
I saw it come to completion. Beautiful. And tell everybody about the name, too, because the name's awesome.
Nobody presents Greg Stone? Yeah. And that came
I
from
could have, and I will next time.
Will you present it?
Yes.
I put it out there. I went, if anyone wants to present this thing, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Pay for it.
Yep.
You could do it. And then I knew that no one would. Because it was like, why would you? But I was like, man, if anyone offers me any kind of money, I thought it'd be so funny to be like, if someone just wants to pay, it wasn't a lot of money, but I was like, if anybody wants to pay for this, it could be, Derek Dildo presents Greg Stone. And I was like, but if no one, that's a funny bit.
AKA SoulJoel.
Right. But if no one does that, you know what's funnier? Nobody presents. Because no one's done that yet. And I was like, that's fun.
dude.
Yeah.
And also,
Noam pretty much paid for a lot of it, by the way.
that
Well, he gets no credit, but he gave me he just came through at the end and was like, "Oh, I'll just pay for the rest." I was like, "Holy shit!"
dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Two of the best named comedy specials ever came out this year. Yours and Keith Robinson's Different Strokes.
that's a great
Two of the
name.
best names ever.
Yeah,
Dude, and the fact that you gave a little 5 spot to James Corden. Like,
Oh.
you've done a lot of things that are very in.
I get no credit for that. That's one of the funniest things I've ever done. in
Dude,
my
I know.
profession.
Him and I have talked about it on the pod. Like decades and decades of things. You're like, dude, it's been done. It's been done. Like at this point, it's all cover. Like you know, or comics stealing each other. How can you have an original thought and then you go and do that? And like James Corden, who doesn't need the money, chuckles at you because it wasn't just a 20. It was a 5 spot.
5. And I
5
thought
spot
about
dude.
that.
Dude, it was such funny. Dude, $100 bill, $20 bill. It made it so much funny that it was a 5.
$1, not funny. It's
Not-
dumb.
yeah, not
20 is almost real.
yeah.
A 5 was perfect, and I
Yeah.
thought about that. But I also
Brilliant.
tell you, the only reason I did late night was to do that.
Really?
I
How long had you thought of that?
now so I had given up on that. I'd given up on a late night. I'd tried so many times to do a late night, it just wasn't happening. It wasn't working. So I gave up on it. And then my goal, I always wanted to tip Conan. Right? I was like, it would have been funnier to just tip Conan. But then Conan's thing stopped, and I looked at it, I went, man, this is the funniest thing in the world. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna write a late night set so I can tip that's the only reason I want to do this. And so the first joke was tip him at the end. And then, do you know the whole story? I don't think anyone knows the whole story. I'll say this, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
End it, you mean?
You could, yeah, yeah. So I go to do Corden, and the whole thing is like, I'm only doing this because I want to tip him, but I think that's so fucking funny. And so I get my act, I do the act, I go out, and I'm doing my set, and then at the end, I do my last joke, and I look around, and he's not coming down. I'm like, this guy's not going to come shake my hand? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Fuck. So I'm doing my joke, and everyone's just looking at me, and I go, that's it. I mean, do you want more? Does anybody want more? And so I start doing crowd work. I went, hey, where are you from, buddy? Right? The guy's like, whatever. And I'm like, that's funny. My wife's from there. I'm like doing jokes. And I go, and then Corn's like, he goes, you never said thank you and good night.
Oh, shit.
And I went, oh my God, I did my last bit. Never said thank you. So they never pulled the plug. So then he goes, just say thank you. We'll edit all that out. So they edited the whole thing of me doing like crowd work out. And then I tipped him. We laughed. I got off.
But how did it end up coming over? Because he wanted to hug you? Like
So I did.
Finally did the proper goodbye, right?
So then,
but
so I did my joke.
He was waiting for that to come over.
He was waiting for me to say thank you for him to come over. So then he comes over. I tipped him. He laughed, and I walked out. I told the guy who books it, I went, you should leave that other shit in. That's really funny. And he goes, man, if it was up to me, I would. But he goes, we have a whole time thing. And he was like, it's not really great for the time thing. And I went, yeah, but that's so fucking funny. And he was like, yeah, that is crazy that you tried to do crowd work
So awesome. Dude.
after your end of your
Not only
late
did
night
you
set.
tip somebody, but you crowd work.
I tried to crowd work him, man.
I mean, and you think about this, how long has late night show TV been a thing? Since the 60s or 50s?
Since television's
Right.
been around.
George Carlin never did that. Bill Cosby never did that before he was a rapist. Richard Pryor never did it.
Yeah.
None of them ever did it, dude.
I think you mean while he was a rapist. Because he was raping at that time, too. The guy's not raping. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think it's just low-hanging fruit that nobody knew how to go low enough. You know what I mean? Pick the apple off the ground.
It's like when I hear a song, a good song.
Yeah.
It's like that's been in my brain my whole life. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
It was like one of those songs.
Yeah, I sometimes would tip a host at a show. I think it's funny. It's like, there you go, I gave a little something for you. Don't worry about it. And I knew I was gonna say it was like it's nothing. I would bring it's nothing. It's nothing. Of course, it's like it's $5. And then like 2 weeks later, he got in trouble for like being rude to waiters. And I was like, I mean, I showed you how to tip. You didn't know how to do that?
He should have kept it and gave it to me.
Yeah,
Saved him some trouble.
yeah,
You were also teaching bedside manner.
yeah. He did give the money back though. He wouldn't take it, which kind of made. I guess this guy doesn't believe. He really doesn't stick to his guns on not tipping. So yeah, he wouldn't keep it, which I thought was fun.
Side of the equation.
Yeah, but I can never shit on the guy because they gave him my first late night. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
That's amazing, man.
He's out of the business. Who cares?
For Greg Stone, Alan Hill, this is SoulJoel. Another episode of Bring 'Em Out.